Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron is something of the red-headed stepchild of the Battlefront series. It's not based on any other games, cancelled or otherwise. In fact, it was a follow-up to the questionable PSP port of Star Wars Battlefront 2. Its storyline is separate from the rest of the Galactic saga, save for a cameo of one of the characters from the novels. It doesn't even have ground-to-space maps like Elite Squadron boasted. And you know what? Renegade Squadron is stronger for this. Let me explain. You see, where Elite Squadron is a technical marvel, it's also incredibly dull and repetitive despite having the same general weapons, abilities, and characters from Renegade Squadron. Why is it so bland? Because there's precisely one way to ideally play every single map in virtually every mode. Man the ion cannon, take down the capital ship's shields, board the capital ship, blow up its main reactor, mop up on the ground, done. Rinse and repeat. All the Elite Squadron maps play out this way, and while you can try to artificially mix things up by your own volition, the AI won't, ensuring that an otherwise compelling sandbox has all the depth of The Force Awakens. This is all thanks to Elite Squadron's ground-to-space combat having so many critical elements that have to be checked off before you can start injecting unique factors. On the other hand, Renegade Squadron features traditional modes like Conquest and Capture the Flag. These modes are malleable and based around only a few key factors, so each map can be its own unique world, free from a uniform rule set. You can have maps with AT-ATs on the advance against rebel defenses, or a tight maze of junkyard narrows funneling players through various alleyways. It's okay to have maps dedicated to massive battles or intimate shootouts. Layouts don't have to be symmetrical. Each map can present fresh situations for the player based on what's available to them, further shaping their playstyle. By embracing this asymmetry, Renegade Squadron captures what makes games like Overwatch and even the original Battlefront games fresh, and is painfully absent from Elite Squadron. This is important because when nothing changes besides aesthetics, and maybe 2 to 3 more variables, you're left with a very balanced, but also incredibly bland experience. The same can be said for how Renegade handles equipment unlocks, which is to say, it doesn't have any. Thanks to a weight-based loadout system, you can only carry a certain build, automatically balancing you regardless of the fact everyone can choose from the same gear. You don't have to go through any hoops to unlock any of it. And as a result, it's possible to make dozens of different offensive, defensive, and supportive builds, but none of them get an objective advantage. Instead, it comes down to player skill, map knowledge, experimentation, and discovering what counter builds are available that define the situation. And since the game isn't trying to simulate AI on 2 different fronts, you can actually see the variety of equipment explored across multiple enemy configurations in response to your playstyle. These elements further enhance the other 2 modes of play, the story campaign and Galactic Conquest. The campaign regularly incentivizes shifting your normal playstyle through objectives, necessitating particular items that make you think about each map you're playing on. Boz Pity makes you think about what's the best defensive position, while Ord Mantell requires that you be on the offense, figuring out how to handle groups of enemies at once in order to ensure Chewbacca doesn't get his butt blown up. Plus, due to their asymmetrical nature, the maps feel like traditional shooter campaign levels done up as mini sandboxes, which is the whole point of Battlefront. While the writing certainly won't win any awards, it presents an enjoyable experience that benefits from these design choices. Also, hey, Master Tione is in his Star Wars game. That's nice to see, even if it's only for a nanosecond. Galactic Conquest benefits the most out of every mode by not only applying all the previous decisions to the fan-favorite mode, but by deepening the strategy light experience even further with additional variables like differing troop deployments and buffs to your units. Rebellion also thankfully created an AI, at least for this game, that doesn't just go to the same planet over and over again, solving one of the biggest problems with the mode's Battlefront 2 incarnation. And since the maps don't all play the same, it doesn't feel like you're just fighting over the same map over and over again regardless, like in Elite Squadron. We might never know if Free Radical's Battlefront 3 suffered from similar issues, but it can be easily said that Renegade Squadron is a fundamentally better game than Elite Squadron by virtue of being smaller and more focused on what Battlefront is about. It might not have that infamous ground-to-space combat, but what it lacks there, it more than makes up for in virtually every other regard. In our current landscape of more is always better, it's worth remembering that sometimes that isn't the case. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more of them, please be sure to like and subscribe because that actually helps a lot. And if you didn't like it, then please feel free to give a thumbs down. And if you really like this video and would like to help ensure I can do more of these things, then please head down to the description and follow a link to my Patreon where you get special goodies if you chip in and help make this channel a reality. I'm the Unabridged Gamer, signing off.